While there are many evidence-based approaches starting to emerge in the treatment of PTSD, there are actually two in particular that are at the very top. In a large measure, individuals are going in, getting these treatment approaches. They meet the criteria for PTSD, and then at the end of treatment, they don't meet the criteria for PTSD. Not all of them, but the majority of them. But before I get into all of that, I did want to give you the update I promised you on my new daily routine of drinking my Magic Mind shot with my coffee every morning. I am still noticing calmer, more sustained energy, but I just noticed in the last week that I'm not crashing in the afternoon around 2 or 3 like I usually do. And in the past, I consumed lots more coffee to actually not crash, and then I had a headache. So now, no headache, no crash. So if you want to try Magic Mind, go to www.magicmind.com/resolve-to-rise-BF. It'll give you about a 48% discount on your first subscription. Okay, so back to the two most impressive therapeutic treatment approaches with the best outcomes. The reason they're so effective is because the biggest stumbling block to healing from complex PTSD or PTSD is that tendency to avoid any reminder of the trauma, which is actually part of the criteria. The problem is that it keeps you stuck. So the first approach is called cognitive processing therapy. Cognitive processing therapy doesn't require you to go in detail about every single traumatic experience that you had. And it helps you identify those stuck places where your beliefs about yourself, about the world around you, are keeping you stuck. And then that therapist is going to work with you to kind of challenge those thoughts and help you reshape that narrative related to your trauma, which then takes out the intensity of your reactivity to the trauma and gets rid of that need to avoid. The second approach is called prolonged exposure. This is more of a confrontational of the traumatic memories and the triggers experience. It's about the therapist really working with you to go in detail about your traumatic experiences and confronting your real life triggers. And as you work through all of that, over and over and over again, it starts to desensitize that sting that you might have had with the trauma. Now, for some people, going direct at their trauma is too overwhelming. They're highly dissociative. They're not ready to start addressing it head on. And if that's the case, that's totally fine. It's good to start then with some embodied approaches, things like grounding exercises, trauma-sensitive yoga, things that help you get back into your body. Whatever you decide to try, please feel free to share in the comments. I'd love to hear how that's going for you. I know others would. If you're interested in hearing about or finding out about other treatments that show evidence, go to my website at www.resolvetorise.com.